Welcome to the third episode of Texas College Talks. Today we have an extremely special guest, J.M. Kelly. Extremely excited to have him on. They've absolutely hooked me up with Texas A&M Kingsville gear, javelinas, back to pack. I'm gonna let J.M. take it from here. It's been awesome having him as a mentor, and this guy is something you really want to listen to.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for taking the time to come down and visit us. Heading to St. Mary's today. We'll play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, get after those guys hopefully. But, again, just grateful to have you coming down here to visit with us. We've had a pretty good year so far, 14-4. So won the 2 non-con games and just rolling right now. We're swinging it well. We're pitching it well. The pitching staff is doing a really, really good job of allowing us as an offense to kind of settle into games. And then, there are games where we might give up a run early or 2 runs early, but then we come back as an offense. And I think I told you last night, maybe it was, shutdown innings-wise, we're probably around 90% right now on executing those. And we're doing a really good job of not allowing other teams to execute those. So, overall we're just playing really good baseball now, and hopefully we can continue doing that. So,
You guys are impressive. They're riding an 8-game win streak right now. Best in the Lone Star Conference. One of the best in baseball. The longest right now is 12 after a lot of big upsets this weekend. Streaks to 12. Javelinas are at 8. Watch out. Something I wanted to point out. On the 90% of shutdown innings. He said that as a guest last night. And today he went back and checked it. These guys are good in big moments, and not only that, I want to speak about the offensive big moments. You guys produce, especially in tight games. Tell us a little about the leadership of your guys and how they're big in these close ones.
it's just packed complementary baseball. We have a lot of hitters that pick each other up, and if one guy doesn't get the job done, the next one will. So it's just good. We've got a lot of ball players. We have a lot of guys that want to be in that situation. They want to pick up a bat and get in the game. And they don't run from that, and so it's always big to have guys like that on your team, on your offense, on your pitching staff, whatever it may be. But we know with our pitching staff right now, the way they're pitching it, that if we can score, 2-3 runs early, and we can keep punching, every inning, that we're going to be in good shape to, at the end of the day, walk away with a win. So that's just kind of how we look at things. If we can throw punches and stay in the fight, then we're in good shape.
They're way ahead in the ERA margin. They're striking out batters. They don't walk many. They're definitely effective up there. They execute pitches. How can't you in these lovely uniforms? These things are sweet. I mean, check these out. Let us know what your favorites are, but I gotta go with the creams. I don't know how you beat these creams.
Creams are good. My wife will get into an argument with you immediately that a hog is not a javelina. But we roll with that. We're hogs. We like to get down and dirty and gritty and get after guys. And so, but no, the creams definitely like the pins. And then on Sundays we wear the golds. So, we have a good combo. We got the grays, got the blues. Actually getting some new blue unis in. So we've got a variety that we can turn to whenever the weekend comes. So.
They kind of remind me of some old school Brewers too.
No, they do. They do, with a little bit of gold in there. No, they look good, and Coach Flores and Coach Middleton, who's moved on now, did a great job of helping our guys look good. Our guys really like wearing these, and they feel good in them. So.
Speaking of Coach Flores, I wanted to give him a huge thank you for having me out here. Same with JM, Coach G. The hospitality here is amazing. I've never been south of Wharton. I've never been to Corpus, and I've been here my whole life, and I'm excited. Like, coming out here, everything's just so bright and colorful. He might tell you differently, but I think it's beautiful out here. And the stadium's really cool, Nolan Ryan Field. Is there a particular reason behind the naming of it? Or
I think at one point we were doing some type of fundraiser, and he donated some money, and it went to the field, and so they ended up naming it after him. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
Nolan Ryan's so big for baseball in Texas at every level, high school, college, pro. Moving on, Jam, I want to talk a little bit about yourself now. I know we covered the Jazz, and we can cover them all day. I got their stat books up and down, and this guy quizzes me on them too. Actually, he knows way more. He's a guru. But you came from Charleston Southern, and now you're here back in Texas. Couldn't leave Texas for long.
Absolutely not.
Eastern Texas guy. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience coaching D1 and what it's like here? Because you guys are quite the ball club here.
Yeah, I'd say overall this conference is arguably one of the best in the country at the Division II level, and no knock on the Division I level at all. It's good baseball all the way across, but you take some of the teams in this conference and you stick them with the Division I level and they compete right away.
That's what I wanted to ask him. He skipped ahead.
Yeah.
You think there's some solid teams in Texas that the Jazz could beat?
Absolutely.
I believe it.
Obviously we walk out there and we think we can beat anybody, obviously, but I think at the end of the day, if you rolled our starters out there, and again we have 4 aces, we have 4 guys that we can really go to Friday night, whatever night it is, we feel like the guy we roll out there is a Friday night guy. So, I think with our pitching staff doing what it's doing, and our hitters doing what they're doing, we feel like when you play the Javelinas, it's going to be a dogfight. We're going to come after you. You're going to come after us. You're not going to have more energy than we are. That's something we take a lot of pride in. So, I think you put us out there with anybody and we'll compete, and we'll see where the chips fall. But I like our chances against a lot of clubs. This conference is going to be really good this year, as we've already seen. So,
it's a 6-team race.
Absolutely, and you never know. They're one of those clubs down at the bottom. You get into the conference tournament, anything can happen.
Exactly.
At Charleston last year, Presbyterian got in as the 4 seed, and they ended up winning the conference tournament and going to a regional. So, grateful for my time at Charleston. It's 100% made me a better coach, better individual, way more attention to detail now, and actually coaching guys instead of just kind of being there and hanging out. So I'm super appreciative for my time there and what those guys did for me. Lads at Nichols now doing a great job with their hitters. Izzy's doing a great job still with the pitchers at Charleston, and then Mac obviously is running a top-notch program, and he'll do that wherever he goes or however long he's there. He's an extremely detailed individual, and he's really good at what he does. So those 3 guys. Being on a staff with those 3 guys was you kind of look around the room and you start thinking like I don't really belong here, but it was awesome getting to be in those staff meetings and just getting to be around those guys and learn a little bit more about the game of baseball.
It's awesome. It's great to hear. You did have a lot of high praise for your coaches there the first time I met you, and the second time, not even a flinch. He knows. These guys hit him that hard, it seems like.
Yeah,
I remember just the first time you were telling us about them.
Yeah.
Me and Gary and Swick
Yep.
You're like, if it weren't for these guys, I wouldn't have the confidence to even be a coach anymore.
No shot.
Not that low, but.
No, and I still talk to Izzy. I still talk to Mac, but Lad and I keep up with each other. He just had his little boy. He's got a little girl and a little boy now, and he kind of. I got married in the summer, and being around Lad really showed me, okay, this is what marriage is about. This is what life's about. He kind of showed me, this is how you balance, your kids and your wife and your marriage and baseball, and just an awesome human being. And that's not to take away from Mac and Izzy; they're awesome. But really appreciative for everything Lad's done for me and continues to do for me. And again, Coach Gonzalez, Coach Flores, Coach Sandos. All 4 of us are married, and I think that helps on a staff to all have that in common. We all have families outside of this, and it's really good. My wife's here as much as she can be. Sandy's wife's here, Flo's wife's here, G's wife and his kids are here, and all the players know them. They want to come up, give them a hug. Coach G's wife's there at the end of every game, giving our players and coaching staff a hug after wins. So, it's awesome to be a part of a family and be a part of a culture that a lot of other people probably don't have. And I'm sure everybody's got some type of family atmosphere, but to me, the minute I got here, it felt like we were home. So
Just so warming being around this place. And can't say any better than just how JM phrases it right there. It's awesome to hear you speak of
it's
it.
awesome.
Another question I have for you. This one's the one everyone expects,
Okay.
but no one knows how to answer it perfectly, and you may agree with this.
Okay.
What do you look for in recruits? Because there's one point I wanted to bring up. You're at a D2 now. You were at a D1. When I was at a D1, the guys here throw a lot harder than they did at Rice in my time there. So what does it take? Because the levels are not that different. That's something that I think could be processed a little more. Yes, D1's a higher level in terms of the ranking, but baseball is baseball. You see in spring training these college teams, Tampa's beat the Phillies. Like, there's high level baseball everywhere, and these teams are the top of the top. We got the defending champs in Low Star Conference. So, recruits wise, what do we look for?
I think the biggest thing arms wise is pitchability. Obviously, velo is a big deal to a lot of people. If you throw 95 and you can't throw strikes, that does nobody any good. So pitchability is a big deal. 88 to 90, those type of guys that can move the ball around the zone, throw the breaking ball for a strike. Change-up's obviously a big deal. People don't think about that enough at the younger ages. But and then offensively, it's bat speed to me. The swing itself, nobody's the same. Nobody will ever be the same. People load differently now. People stride differently now. People have different swing planes, all that stuff. We talk about approach a lot here. We recruit you because you have a good swing. When you get here, we're going to teach you how to hit with what you've already got. So, I think bat speed's a really big deal, and athleticism on the offensive side. Can we take your raw ability and be able to refine that into pieces that now you can put to what you already have and become a better ball player? So,
Seems like you guys are really looking out for these guys too, and not trying to modify who they are, but encourage them to be better and to better themselves.
You're going to be here for 4 years, 3, 4, 5 years. We can't recruit a guy and go, he's got this. We've got to change all this. There's not enough time for that. At the Division I level, at the Power 5 level, you can get away with that a little bit on projects. We can't do that. We have to have guys that can come in right away and make an impact, and there's a little less room to be able to miss. And people miss all the time. I've missed. I'm sure Coach Flores has missed. We've all missed on guys. But it's super important for us to be able to identify guys, and then at the same time, they have to be able to fit into our culture. We talk to guys sometimes, and we figure out pretty quickly, hey, this may not work. We don't know if you're going to fit with our pack, our family. But then we've got guys that, maybe ability-wise, you're not as talented as this other guy, but you really fit. We like our conversation with you. Family comes on campus, and everything runs smooth. So, that has a lot to do with it as well.
I like that. And I believe, just what I'm sensing from you, is you don't put the box around someone. You don't limit what they can be. Especially if you see that they can buy into what you're building, their potential just raises. It's like they have the opportunity to be that person. I mean, Jose Altuve, obviously a good example. The guy for UCLA, 5'4", man. First look, nothing. But if you work your tail off, all the power in the world to you. And I really feel like this is something that they do over here. I've gotten close with a couple of players here. It's just nothing but good news I've heard. Of course, maybe they got to run extra or something that I don't know about, but it's just been a great experience. Family is just the best way to put it, and I'm really thankful they've had me here and shared some of their culture with me.
We appreciate having you, but yeah, at the end of the day, our job is to create opportunities for you to become a better player and move on. And we understand, there's guys sometimes that come in here and they're here for 3 years. There's guys that come in and one of our better hitters right now is a 6th-year guy. And we're extremely fortunate to have him, have his leadership. But yeah, we're in the business of creating opportunities. I put a tweet out before. We're going to give you the tools But at the end of the day, it's really up to you as the player to be able to take those tools and utilize what we've given you. We're going to push you. We're going to try to get as much as we can out of you. But at the end of the day, you're going to really be the person that decides, how good you want to become. So
Absolutely. And I feel like that Mamba mentality plays in it. Because some people think that, in college you practice for long hours, don't get me wrong. But those 4 hours, those 3.5 hours you get, it's not enough. Like,
No.
you got to lift extra on your own. And if you're not a lifting guy, you got to do your jobs and your bands, and you got to get your extra cuts and your extra throws whenever. Like, a lot of it's learning how to be yourself, too, and creating your thing. I think that's just something that might be a little misunderstood coming in. Obviously, hard work, everyone does it, but there's a peak, and there's so much your body can take, but you got to push it, like, to be something special. And something that kind of hit me early, that I could be something, and I just feel like you guys have a way of preaching that to people without being like, hey, get your butt to the cages for 2 more hours,
We've got older guys that do a really good job. Obviously, the junior college guys understand it, and then obviously, John Carlos Servine being here, this is his 6th year, he understands. Bumstead, I think this is his 5th year. I think he may be a 6th-year guy. We actually grew up around each other, so.
And Kelby Weiler.
Like Kelby as well. So, it's awesome to have guys like that in your program. We don't have to say anything; those guys will. Jake Chapman, perfect example. He wouldn't even want me to tell you this, but we win a ball game. He's in the cage. He didn't have a good game. He's in the cage probably 2 hours after the game's over. He went and got something to eat, came back, and he's in there swinging. Coach, my swing doesn't feel right. It's just having guys like that in your program that understand that there is something bigger here than themselves. Obviously, they want to get better as a player, but they want to make the team better. And I think that's their ultimate goal, is to make the team better. And in turn, it creates a culture here that everybody becomes better and the team becomes better.
Absolutely. You love to hear stuff like that. Grades, also very important.
Yes.
Can't skip that one.
We, I think every year since Coach Gonzalez has been here, we've had the highest team GPA of any male sport on campus. So, baseball players get a bad rap sometimes, but our guys take care of business in the classroom as well. So that's something we really pride ourselves in. We've got a couple engineers on the team. Some of those guys, a lot of business guys. So, there's times where you don't want to go to class and you'd rather come to practice, but sometimes we have guys that miss or whatever it may be because they're in class. We really preach that there's a life after baseball, and there'll be a few guys that continue playing and play pro ball for a few years, but the biggest deal is understanding there's a life after baseball, and that degree means a lot when you walk out of here and you've got to go find a job. And the good thing is that us as a coaching staff, we're here for you for the rest of your life. Once you're in it, you're here, and put me on your resume, make me a reference. I'll talk to anybody for you. So I think I like to talk. And
I think you just read my mind. I was gonna say, it's perfect. You said it perfectly with put me on your resume. Because I was gonna say, there's something about being in college too that when you're confident in yourself and you show your work ethic, you can be friends with your coach while having the coach-player relationship. Like, that could be your best friend. You can tell these coaches things.
Absolutely.
They're there for you because you're their guy too. But like, if you show them that hard work, like, you're both gonna give it to each other. And I think that's just something that could also be. You said it perfectly. Put me on the resume.
Yeah.
You're family. You become family. You spend every day for years together.
The bottom line, and I've said this since I started coaching, and anybody that hears this that knew me as a young coach will laugh, but we're the barrier between their parents raising them and them going out into the real world. We're that barrier. They still have their parents they go home to, that they talk to, but we see them every day. I mean, I see these kids, my wife doesn't live here, but even if my wife's teaching at the high school, like I hope she is next year, I see these guys more than I see my wife. And understanding, again, that this is a family atmosphere. And, at the end of the day, we're that barrier. Like I said, they've got their parents. and they are in the real world when they step here, but there's still a little bit of, I don't have to necessarily pay my own bills, and I don't have to worry about this. Once they leave us, that's it. They're on their own, and
that transition year is tough too.
It is. But at the end of the day, again, it comes down to you have your parents, but at the same time, it's not always easy to call your parents. You can call me. Call Coach Flores, call Coach Gonzalez. I don't know. Friend is a good word, not a good word. Depends on who you ask. But we're very open door policy. Come talk to us. Let us know what's going on. We're here for you every step of the way if you're one of our guys in our program. Whether we recruited you or I stepped in, I haven't recruited any of these guys. But they're all my guys now, and they will be for the rest of their life or the rest of my life. So
these guys were clowning with him in the dugout when I walked up. It's just great here, man.
We're very open. The minute practice starts, though, we start and we get after it, and we don't apologize for working hard. But again, once practice is over, we kind of open that back up, and that's not to say we don't have fun during practice. There's times for it. But definitely before practice and after practice, there's definitely a switch that we can flip and go, okay, we can be ourselves as far as, laugh and cut up a little bit,
especially after you win.
Especially after you win. But that's not to say we're not always ourselves. We're always ourselves, and I think our players understand that we may get in you a couple of times, but I think our players respect us and we respect them for them to know at the end of the day, hey, he got in me, but I can come talk to him. Or I might get in you. I might say, Kel, man, come on, we got to be better. Let's go. But I may turn around in 5 seconds and go, hey, let's go. Go get the next at bat or go make a play for us. I feel like our players really understand that we have their best interest in our minds and in our hearts, and so we can still. There's a lot of times nowadays where you worry, can I get onto a guy? Am I going to hear about this later on? We have a lot of guys that are gritty and work hard, and they crave that. Sometimes they want us to get into them a little bit, and again, at the end of the day, we walk away and we give each other a hug, and it's over and done with, and we can all go back to kind of normal again.
Absolutely.
But there's never a moment where our guys are, I think, worried if we're gonna hate them or anything. Along those lines, it's always this is in love, and they're doing this because it's in my best interest. So.
You see why I like this guy right here. This guy's fantastic. JM, thank you for that. You want to get into the fun part of this now?
Absolutely.
Now we can cut up a little bit.
Okay.
This guy he's got it. You want to be a motivational speaker one day?
No, I don't. I don't like talking in front of people. I've always said, hey, I want to present at the high school coaches sister. I want to present here, or I can do a podcast, I can do a Zoom and all that, but the minute you stick me in front of a bunch of people, I start getting sweaty, and I get nervous, and I've always joked I could play in front of 5,000 people, but the minute you put me in front of 400 people, I want no part of it. So now it's changed a little bit now. Now I kind of want to get out there and be in front of people, but before no shot.
Let's see if we can put him on the spot right here.
Okay.
All right, this is gonna be a little fun.
Okay.
Say you had a random 3-day off day. Where are you going?
Fishing.
I gotta go see the wife first.
Well, I'll go see the wife at her parents' ranch. I need to throw in some time for my parents, but absolutely. I'll show you a picture when we get off this. So they've got 2 big ponds out there. She's caught the biggest catfish out of anybody. I've been fishing there for 4 years since we started dating, and last summer she caught one. I mean, I'm not even close to ever catching one like that. So she enjoys fishing. She enjoys hunting. I go hunting a lot. I just as soon let the deer walk. I want to shoot a hog. I want to shoot a coyote. Duck hunting. So, my dad makes fun of me. I grew up with a dad as an ag teacher. My mom was a teacher. My wife is now an ag teacher. Her dad was an ag teacher.
You're a teacher of baseball.
I am. But I love, people make fun of me sometimes. But I love going and working cows. I did it growing up a
You're
little
a country
bit.
boy.
I am, and I'm not a cowboy. I wear the cowboy hat. I wear the boots. I don't claim to be a cowboy. But I like to be outside working and fishing, hunting, anything I can do that's outside. Got into bow fishing a couple years ago. I love it.
Awesome.
It's kind of the best of both worlds. So,
Jeez.
anything I can do to be outside, I'm going to do. And I married the right lady. She enjoys being outdoors as well. So she's actually, I think I told you earlier, at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo right now with a couple of her kids showing projects. So, we enjoy that part of this. So
It's awesome. Go-to spot to eat after a game here.
in Kingsville, you can go to Bray's. You can go to Kingsville Steakhouse, or you can go to El Tap, which is right up the road actually. Any one of those three. I haven't been here long enough. I just found out about Taqueria Martinez. Really good breakfast taco place. I found out about that a couple of days
We got
ago.
boudin.
I don't know.
I love boudin for breakfast.
I'm a big boudin guy. My wife grew up in Winnie, which is an extremely Cajun community just west of Beaumont. Coach Gonzalez's wife is from Louisiana, so she's an extremely
You almost do crawfish.
good
Good
cook.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know how it is down here yet. I know where I'm from, it's a huge deal around Beaumont, Port Arthur, southeast Texas. But again, I'm from East Texas. Bumstead will argue with you and tell you that I'm not. I'm not from Southeast Texas. I don't claim that.
I'm a Southeast Texas.
You're Southeast Texas. Houston is Southeast. Beaumont is Southeast. I'm not Southeast, but yeah, those are probably the three go-to spots. I can't wait for my wife to move down here. Maybe she can cook a little something for me. I'm not extremely good with that stuff. So hopefully she can pick me up on that.
All right. We come to the final one. The final question. It's trivia. I gotta look at this.
Okay.
All right. In the Javelina BSB Twitter, in the bio, they have 4 hashtags. Can you name them, or at least 3?
I can name Back the Pack.
We'll give them credit for it.
That's not in the bio. Back the
That's
Pack.
not the
Hashtag
exact
Back the
one.
Pack.
You got
Coach
it, Fred.
Flores does all that.
He got it right. It's D-Pack.
Hashtag maybe have baseball, or the pack is what it is.
We've been talking about one the whole time.
Family. Hashtag family.
Hashtag family. Need one more.
Now I gotta look around the office and see
Hey.
if I can find a hint. Hashtag hogs.
Nope.
Seems like, we need to make that one. That needs to be one. Hashtag javelinas.
I'll give you that one. It's go
Hashtag
Javelinas.
Habs?
It's
Go
go
Javelinas?
Javelinas.
What's the other
Here's
one?
3. Hashtag pack.
Pack. Wow. That's
I just looking to see if I could stump him right there.
so we have hashtag VPack and hashtag pack. We need to fix that. That's kind of repetitive.
It was quite the time on this interview. I greatly enjoyed coming out here. A&M Kingsville. Got a couple more things I'm doing with the guys. And JM, thanks for coming on. It was absolute blessing to have you on. Can't believe we had you again. So
Man, good to catch up, and I appreciate you having me. I've really enjoyed it.
thank you for everything.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Check this out real quick, guys.
Oh man.
This is a country boy. This is awesome.
So, quick story behind that. My grandpa got me my glove in college. My grandpa was my best friend. Taught me how to hunt, fish, and all that. And he passed away my junior year. And my glove was getting worn and old, and I was talking to my grandma, and she was asking me, like, how's everything going? She's like, how's your glove holding up? And I kind of made a joke, like, it's actually not in great shape. And she's like, well, I want to get you another one. And, I'm like, I don't play anymore. I don't really need one. And she has a Twitter, actually, so she might see this. But I said, okay, you can't tell her no. You can't argue with her. She will win. And I said, okay, so I knew exactly what I wanted to do. These are his initials and the day he passed away, but with everything that he taught me, hunting, fishing, I had to go camo, and
It's a
I think he
beautiful
would have.
color.
I think he would have enjoyed it. Actually, I know he would have enjoyed it. So, that's why I did it, and it's been good to me so far. I try not to use it too much. It's probably going to be one of those that ends up sitting on the mantle or something at some point. But no, that's why I did it this way. He's done a ton for me, as well as my parents and my grandparents. But he did a ton for me growing up, and so that's kind of a tribute to him. So.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
story. Thanks again.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you.
We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, JM.
See y'all.